we are back in the mixer on YouTube. I thought I'm in a really cool spot coming into London Marathon this Sunday, and I haven't actually put a video out since Seville Marathon, which I did in February. And if you didn't know, I got from the socials around a 2:49 marathon. I was aiming for 2:45. I still got a 10-minute PB, I think it was. So it was an amazing event. No complaints at all, Seville. It was brilliant. Really enjoyed it. And there were so many experiences I had, lessons I learned, running wise, that I can implement into the next marathon. So I have actually got some footage. I did record the whole weekend. Is a bit of a vlog, something different I don't normally do. A lot of the content that I do is like maybe a videographer filming it, they're taking charge and sorting it out, which I will be doing in future still, but just using the DJI that I've paid for, I may as well use. Hence why I'm doing the video now. So I'm going to give a bit of a rundown of what I've been up to, as the start of this year has been pretty much just crazy in terms of events that I've done, places I've been, and it's more of me looking at what I've done to look back on, but also just to keep the people updated with what's going on and what I'm chasing in my performance, with my business and my events and everything else. So yeah, if we kick off back to January, I went out to Dubai and Bahrain to go see a client, Khalid, shout out Khalid, which we did a half marathon in Bahrain together, and I've been coaching him a couple of years, and he's made some incredible progress across his Ironman distance and mainly now his marathon distance. We've got him pain-free, running again, enjoying the process, which he's going to be doing Berlin this year. So shout out Khalid, who is an incredible runner and just an all-round incredible guy. So we was in Bahrain, and then I went to Dubai as well, which was a really cool experience. I've never been before, and just wanted to go out on my own, enjoy some good runs, enjoy a good bit of work out there, network, see some friends and a couple of other coaches I knew, which was a really cool experience. From that point, we then had Seville Marathon. So in the documentary mini series that we was making with Sam, who was absolute legend and really cool videographer in like every episode, that was amazing, a really cool experience for me. The training block I felt went really well, and I have got like zero complaints of me not hitting 2:45. There's no excuses at all. I was just fading out towards that last 5k, and it was a big goal to push towards, and that last 5k was pretty tough for me from 37k. But like again, the weather was perfect, the conditions were perfect, I was running well, and the pacing for the first half was brilliant. I think it was pretty much within like a second to 3-4 seconds, I would say, for majority of the run. So there was so many positives to take away, and I'm not one of these people to be like, if I was off the target I set, which was the 2:45, to be like, oh, it was the weather, it was the shoes. It was like, you're just not at that standard yet, and you're not good enough yet. So go back to the training ground, rebuild, and go again, which is exactly what I'm doing. From that point, I then went to America, was it 2 weeks ago now, and did an event called Work Week. So a little backstory on this. Work Week was an event that got created by someone called Ricky Bowery, who I met through a client at the time called Brett, which when I first heard about the challenge, I was like, this sounds absolutely mental, but I'm absolutely game for it. It's 7 marathons across 7 days, and there's 7 different disciplines, all out in Utah. So I coached the first crew of this last year before now, which I won't lie, it was an incredible experience just coaching them, and I had a little bit of FOMO, I won't lie, and all of the, I think it was 7-8 athletes got through it pain-free, completed it, and smashed out the park, raised a load of money for charity, which it was all about, and it was an incredible success. We then had this year in April, myself doing it and another 11 athletes, and I say athletes, it's that every athlete pursuing that 1% better across what they're chasing, across their health, their fitness, their endurance performance. And it was such an incredible group. Like genuinely, there were some people that have done marathons before. There was a guy that I think rode across the Atlantic Ocean. People have done triathlons. There's a whole mix and different mix of athletes, which was amazing. It was really cool to be able to coach them for one and successfully get them through that. So I've been I was out in America for 2 weeks completing the 7 marathons in 7 days. And that was, for me, such a different experience because I'm so used to having like a time to chase, whether it's a half marathon, a marathon, or the 70.3. I'm always like, right, I want to do a sub 5 half. I want to run a 1:17 half marathon. The 2:45 I was chasing, whereas this was just a completely different ball game. You're just doing hours and hours of which we was doing. I'll run you through. We did a marathon ski, which I'm a terrible skier, I won't lie. It was pretty horrendous for me, but a lot of lessons learned and developed my skiing technical ability. Second day was a 100-mile road bike. So the 2 bikes that we did one road bike, one mountain bike. They were both 100 miles, but the 100-mile road bike on the flats, like 100 miles, a good amount of people do them. It's nothing crazy, but this was super hilly. So it felt for me anyway. And then we had a marathon on the kayak, which we went through the Colorado River, through Moab, through that area, I believe. And then we did a marathon paddleboard as well. And then obviously 100 miles mountain bike. We did a marathon hike, and a marathon run was the last day as well. Pretty sure I've gone through all of those there. I'm still recovering a little bit, so bear with me. And they were each of the events that we went through back to back each day. We was running off a few hours sleep each night, kind of going between each different hotel. And even so, the experience was still incredible despite the tiredness, and you really find out what you're about. It's not always about the speed initially for anything like that. It's that durability, and it just shows you when you come together as a group and then develop that across the week from that day one. Maybe you don't know each other too well, but by the end of sort of day 7, you're cracking jokes, you're in a really cool position with each person, you're in it with them. And yeah, for me, that was just incredible. So we had that event across America, and that was probably the first time I took like proper time off work. I mean, it is very much a lifestyle with what I do with coaching athletes and the business owners, the CEOs, like the type of people I'm working with. I'm always very much in my business all the time, which I won't lie, I absolutely love that. Like, it brings me so much enjoyment, passion, and being able to do that is just incredible. And I've been doing that since I was 18. I'm 25 this year, so it's been an incredible journey on that front so far. And this period was like the most amount of time I probably took off work to a degree. And shout out to the legend, the clients that I coach for the support through that, because it's one thing for me like doing physical challenges, but sometimes the hardest thing for me is almost like switching off and doing the challenge and not trying to juggle all the plates to a degree. So that was a really cool thing for me to do on a personal note. And now, as you can see with a bit of the backdrop, we're currently in Canary Wharf. It's London Marathon this weekend, and I'm going to be doing my first London Marathon, which I watched Amy, my partner, do it last year, and there was 6 of my clients last year that done it, which all PB'd as well. And for me to do it this year, it's like a massive excitement, and I've actually got no idea what I'm going to go for time-wise. I said to a couple of friends, my friend Nathan, I'm coach at the moment as well, I said I'm just going to go completely hard, enjoy it, take the crowds in, and almost sit in the pain a little bit when it comes later on into the race. So I'm excited for that. I'm excited to just have no expectations, go in, have fun, enjoy it, enjoy the crowds. I mean, the buzz from it seems absolutely incredible as a spectator, let alone somebody that's taking part in it, you know. So we're going to be doing that this weekend, and that is pretty much a rundown of everything so far in terms of me and what I'm doing. So we've got London Marathon this weekend, and then in September I'm going to be aiming for a full Ironman, which the next 20 weeks after this week is going to be all in prep for that. So back into a bit of a testing week, bit of a testing block. And then I'm also going to go down to London just to get DEXA scans and blood work, a bit of an MOT on my body and what I'm doing, and using that as data as well as like performance testing and data. So I'll go see a couple of other coaches I know that I'll get to go through like movement screens with me, just to make sure my body's well functioning in a good place, and using that as a bit of a starting point before I build up the next block of what I'm doing. So I'm really excited for that and what's to come. And I've also been really developing my delivery coaching craft this year, which for anybody that knows me, they know I'm a bit of a geek with it. I love the data, I love the research, I love studying, I love the education behind coaching and what I do in every area of endurance, strength and conditioning, nutrition, the psychology behind all of that comes together. And we've been working hard with myself and a couple of external people on the PEAKHUMAN program, which is a 12-month approach to health, performance, lifestyle, endurance, and integrating all of those together. For many years when I've done endurance training and I've done strength and conditioning in separate kind of modalities, one of the things I've found is integrating those together at a good standard and not creating fatigue that's absolutely wiping you out, creating enough work that's going to allow you progress and actually not completely take over your life, because I believe you can train to a good standard. I believe you can get a good level of results. One, by always working hard, that's a non-negotiable, but you don't have to absolutely put yourself in the hurt locker every week. And it's a very much a human first approach, but data driven. So I've been building some really exciting things out for that, which we're actually going to be onboarding Stephen today, as got my laptop with me. So Stephen took part in work week, and we're going to be building towards some marathon PBs, chasing sub 4, and in the last block he already took 14 minutes off his marathon time. So I'm really excited to see where we go with Stephen on a one-to-one bespoke package that we've got for him. And he's out in New York, which is cool. We've got, as well as starting what I did locally and coaching people in the gym, which I still do now, because I mean, all types of coaching I love. I still do it in the gym, predominantly online as well. Now as well, having those local individuals, having the people in and around the UK, the Middle East, America now, some people in Europe. It's so cool to, what started off for me as like a massive passion project and just wanted to help one person move, put them in a better place. That then leads to the next person, referrals, and you then build a business. You're like, whoa, what am I doing here? And I think, what was it, 5 years on now that I've been, 4.5, 5 years on now, I've been sort of running my own thing. So it's been a whirlwind of a journey. But I thought I'd give a bit of a recap on what's been happening. And I have recorded a 6-part YouTube series to help all the things I just mentioned about strength conditioning, nutrition, endurance, integrating those. And for a lot of the individuals I work with, managing teams, a family, a career, and still wanting to take on the marathon and integrate everything else together so it doesn't feel like it's completely taken over their life to a degree. It does become a lifestyle, but in a way that's manageable. I'm going to be running through a 6-part series to really give you an understanding, a breakdown of how you can do it the right way and how you can have the best approach to yourself, because what works for me may not work for you, and vice versa. We're all so different. We need the same systems worked in terms of energy systems, the same frameworks of strength and conditioning, but they need to be tailored to the individual because we're so different within our needs and what we want. And it's a massive important thing to shine a little bit more light on that, which plenty of amazing coaches already do, to be honest. If I'm being completely honest, there's some amazing guys out there and girls that do incredible work. So shout out to those doing that, and really putting the time and attention into the coaching craft and the importance of the person in front of them. And that's something I'll always stand by. So yeah, I'm really excited to, one, get everything firing out from a point of education and content, which will be coming. It is just more of a game of editing now and getting that sorted. But other than that, it's now back into an hour or two of work before we then hit some more carbs in for the London Marathon. So it's currently 6:23 on a Friday, and I'll be racing Sunday. I need to collect my number tomorrow, which I'll be catching up, seeing a couple of other people that are down here, and I've got a client running it as well this year. So plenty of exciting things up and coming, and an incredible first part of the year so far. But yeah, we're going to be back firing out the videos on YouTube. This was just a bit of a rundown of what's going on, what I've done, and appreciation for some of the legends that have been along the way and along the journey so far. So shout out you guys and to people that have supported the journey so far in the process. There's a few people that reached out on Instagram off the back of the series, the 245, with some really nice comments just in terms of what they've been following along on, and inspiring them to get moving to enter their first half marathon. One of them's actually doing Oxford half, which is a great half marathon you haven't already. So yeah, it's good to see that it's going in the right direction, it's hitting the right people, and there's going to be more to come. Real, raw, and it may be good content, it may not be good content, but we're going to mess around and find out and just keep stacking videos on videos, figuring out what works, what doesn't, and just enjoying it. I think it's very easy with anybody that maybe like post any type of content. You're always like some magic algorithm or something that's gonna reach more people so you can help more people. And for me, it's like just post whatever. If it does well, it does well. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And that was why I thought I'm just gonna hit it raw, no super edited stuff, and just run with it, which has been pretty good to do, to be honest. I have also, this hotel room is, I can't even say it's super massive, but I may as well go through a bit of a fit check of what we're going to be running this Sunday. A crazy thing just happened actually. So I just went to Flannels on Oxford Street to grab one of the UVU vests, which I won't lie, I've been wanting to get some of their bits for a while, and I always miss it when it comes through on email. And the guy who filmed the series, Sam, for the documentary, my mind just went blank then. He was actually doing the photography stuff this morning at Flannels, which was like, I don't know, it's just a weird moment for us both. We're like, what are you doing here? And he was filming for those, so that was absolutely mega. This is when I look at, the first thing I pulled out was a set of gloves. Now, I don't remember saying about gloves, but and you know what, we're going to take them if they're in there. I can't remember what I got now. We have got some socks to start with. Let's see what we got here. I love the way that I've just gone with like a bit of a rundown video. Now we're going into some sort of haul, which, you know what, I absolutely hate those videos. But we got the cheeky UVU sock, as Amy would say, too many holes in the socks post-marathon, cannot be done. And then we've gone for a nice little number. So we've gone with the green. And we have got a nice breathable London Marathon singlet, which is UVU. Some wicked graphics on this, by the way. And what it says on the back, which I had no idea on. Graceful pursuit of superior self. Wicked. Let me know your thoughts. Are we a fan of the green? Classic thing I always say, never change anything on race day, but I'm going to have fun. I've got no time to hit, so if I get a few blisters on the socks, which I don't imagine I will because they look pretty quality to be fair, or if any chafing comes, which I never normally have, then mine and fault to a degree. But yeah, that's the fit. And also we've got this bag set gloves. I don't know why there's so many gloves in here, but we've got some gloves if we get cold, people. That's the fit for London. That's a rundown of what's going on. I will see you in the next video. That's 18 minutes done of me waffling. Catch you later.